Hi everyone, this is the part two of my series on how to learn a language from scratch, and uh, today is like day two of me learning German and you learning whatever language you're interested in. And yesterday I did a kind of like a general overview of my philosophy for learning languages, and we did a very little bit of studying. And this time I just want to go over one point uh, in terms of philosophy and then do a lot more studying compared to what we did yesterday. So the point that I want to cover is that when you choose material to learn from, see, we're learning from native material right from day one, just like yesterday with the newspaper. What we want to do is always choose things that are interesting to us because it would keep us involved more, and we'll be more likely to learn, and we'll be less likely to get bored. So boredom is definitely the enemy when we're learning a language, because the easier you get bored, the easier you give up, and giving up is really the only way you can fail to learn a language. And, if you don't give up, eventually you're going to learn it no matter what technique you use. So you want to maximize things that keep you from getting bored and keep you interested in what you're doing. So when I was learning Korean, at first when I was reading the newspaper, I only read articles on soccer because I have an interest in soccer. So I learned all about the Korean soccer league and the Korean players that play in the overseas leagues because I was reading all these articles. And to me it was interesting because I already had this interest in English. So it's the same in Korean. Had I been reading about like interior design, I probably would have gotten bored really quickly and given up, which is definitely not what we want to do. Later on in Korean, I was really into professional video game matches, which they have a huge league over there, and it's a really big deal. They play this old game called StarCraft, and I watched probably at least 1,000 hours of matches, and I did it without even thinking, right? I enjoyed watching the matches so much that I would just sit there and lay on my couch for hours and watch it each day. And of course, it's not just a match. There's professional commentators, speaking a mile a minute on what's going on and narrating the action. And I got to the point where I understood absolutely everything they were saying. So finding that thing that I could really get into enabled me to improve my listening a great deal. So when you're choosing native material to learn from, you should definitely go for things that you have an interest in or you think you might have an interest in. I'm doing German. Well, what do they have in Germany? They have beer. They also have soccer. They have history, and maybe there's a lot of stuff that I don't really know about, but as you're learning and looking through the newspaper, if you have an existing interest, you can start with that, and then later on you'll find things that interest you in that culture or in that area where the language is spoken. So be sure to always do something interesting, and don't give up the language because you find the material interesting. You should always just switch the material, not give up language learning altogether. So today I want to spend a lot more time studying stuff and a lot less time chit-chatting. So I'm going to, I got two windows open, they're both in Apple, so let's go to Translate, and let's go to Google, and let's get started learning. So I want to learn, what do I want to learn about German? I want to learn about soccer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the German word for soccer by typing it in the English and getting the German out. So it's this word with a funny character in it. We'll hear how it's pronounced.
Fußball.
Fußball. Fußball. What we're going to do is we're going to take this word, copy it, paste it here. Fußball. Right? And we got Wikipedia and this and that. And I'm going to go to news on Fußball. Hit enter. Okay, and now we've got a bunch of different articles. So let's click on a random one. And now we have a article which looks like it happened in Kansas City, Missouri. Unless that's a town in Germany, which I doubt. Here we have something interesting, Fußball. Which is, looks like the same thing. Fußball. Oh, I missed an L there. Football. It's the same thing. I guess that character and is the same as a double S. Or at least in this case it is. Fußball. Fußball. So I'm going to go through one word at a time again. And start looking at this stuff.
Vorerst. Vorerst.
Vorerst.
Vorerst.
Vorerst. Vorerst. For the time being, vorerst. Happy end. Somehow I think this is English. For now, happy end.
Vorerst happy end.
Vorerst happy end.
Vorerst happy end.
Klinsmann team. That sounds like a name. Team.
Team.
In CONCACAF. Let's look at this word. Endrunde.
Endrunde. Endrunde.
Endrunde.
Endrunde.
Endrunde.
Endrunde.
Endrunde. This is the finals in Korean Joseon. Endrunde.
4.
4 Minuten. 4 minutes. 4 Minuten.
4 Minuten.
4 Minuten.
4 Minuten.
4 Minuten.
4 Minuten.
4 Minuten. Tremor.
4 Minuten zittern.
Sitten. What? Shake. Quiver. So I guess, something was going on in the last 4 minutes. 4 Minuten.
Dreimal.
Dreimal. Dreimal. 3 times. Maybe this is separated. Maybe this is dry. Veal.
3.
Drei, veal. 3, 4.
3, 4.
3, 4. 3, 4. Mal. Times.
Mal.
Dreimal. Dreimal. 3 times.
Dreimal.
Okay, what I'm doing here is kind of like exploring and being curious about how these words are put together and breaking them up and looking at them in different angles because Google Translate may not give you exactly what you want, so you need to kind of poke around before you feel confident about what everything means.
Ausgelassen.
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 Ausgelassen. Hilarious. Huh?
Jubeln.
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 Jubeln. Okay, so J is pronounced like a Y, which is similar to Spanish and not to English, so I gotta keep that in mind. Jubeln.
Jubeln.
Hilarious cheer. 3 times hilarious cheer. Und. Maybe that means and, huh? And. Und.
Und.
Und. Und am. And. Und am. Am is another preposition, huh? And. Und am. Ind. Means end, huh?
Ende.
Ende. Ende. Das. The. Okay, der is also the, right? That of the. Das and der mean the.
Lächeln.
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 Lächeln. Okay. 4 minute trembled 3 times. Ausgelassen. Hilarious cheer, and at the end, the, did I miss this word? Oh, usual smile. Oh, so they were nervous for 4 minutes, and then they laughed, and then
Gewohnte. Gewohnte.
gewohnte,
Gewohnte.
gewohnte. So W is pronounced like a V, huh? Gewohnte,
Gewohnte.
gewohnte,
Gewohnte.
lächeln,
Lächeln.
lächeln,
Lächeln.
lächeln, gewohnte, usual, gewohnte, lächeln. Okay, these are words that I'm... Okay, another point here. I'm definitely not going to remember a lot of these words, but I'm going to go through them and, I see them, I see the translation, and even though I won't remember it next time, it makes me more likely to remember it next time. Okay, so maybe in my subconscious somewhere, your brain is always on record mode, but some things are recorded better than other things. So these things may not be recorded very well, but they're there. And the next time I see it, it may get recorded in a better way, but it may take 4 or 5 times. Like, there's some words in Korean that, they seem so easy, but it took me like literally hundreds of times before I understood. I remembered what the word, I couldn't remember what the word for purple was. And I had heard it so many times from these StarCraft matches, because each person has a color, and there's only like 8 colors, right? So the chance of somebody being purple is pretty good, and so I would hear it every single time, like almost every single day, and I couldn't remember what it was. But okay, so now I know what it is, borase. But the point is, some words, they may not stick, and you can't really predict how many times you got to see them until they stick. But the key is not to look at the same word in the same context every time. It's to look at the same word in different contexts. So we're going to try to get as many different contexts as we can, rather than dwelling on these words, trying to memorize them.
Klinsmann.
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 Klinsmann. I guess that's the name, huh?
Hat.
Hat. Klinsmann hat. Meet. Meet with, which is the same as Korean. Meet also means and. Here, it looks like this. Meet means and in Korean. I'll show you. And that'll be easy to remember because I have, some device. Meet in Korean and in German both mean with or together or and. So that'll be easy for me. Der means the. US Fußball. Fußball, let's listen to the pronunciation. US.
Fußball.
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 Fußball. US Fußball.
Nationalmannschaft.
Nationalmannschaft. National probably means national, right? Mannschaft.
Mannschaft.
Mannschaft. Mannschaft team. Nationalmannschaft. Den, the. So we have den, das, die, der. Den, das, der.
Ehesten.
Ehesten.
Schritt.
Schritt.
Richtung.
Richtung.
Weltmeisterschaft.
Weltmeisterschaft. Welt. World. Meisterschaft. Cup. Huh? Championship. So it's not really cup. Weltmeisterschaft. It's probably like master or something. Huh? Meister. Oops, I got my Korean on. Meister. Champion.
Meister.
Schaft.
Schafft.
leg. Okay, well, whatever. In Brazilian,
Brasilien,
Brazil, gemacht. Somehow I feel like this means ended. No? Made?
gemacht,
Gemacht, done. Why do I think that means, and how would I do this? With, okay, so we've gone through a couple of sentences here. Let's see if I remember. Wir vor Minuten zitten, dreimal ausgelassen, jubeln und am Ende das gewohnte Lügen. Jürgen Klinsmann hat mit der US-Fußball Nationalmannschaften aus den Schrittweiten Weltmeisterschaft 2014 in Brasilien gemacht. I wonder if that sounds pretty good. Probably not.
4 Minuten zittern, dreimal ausgelassen jubeln und am Ende das gewohnte Lächeln. Jürgen Klinsmann hat mit der US-Fußballnationalmannschaft den ersten Schritt Richtung Weltmeisterschaft 2014 in Brasilien gemacht.
Gemacht. Not bad, huh? Not bad. I guess we'll do... okay, so now, one thing I like to do is, sometimes it gets tedious to go through like the full sentences. Sometimes I like to go through the article and just identify the words that I know or that I recognize. Maybe I don't know the meaning, but I know that I saw it somewhere. And then what I can do is, like the ones I don't remember, I can type them in there and get reminded. And then you get a feel for like how good you've gotten. Because the first time you look at German, you might recognize a couple of words that look like English, but you don't really know much of anything. But now I've got some words in my head, right? I've looked at like 50 words, including yesterday and today. So I should be able to see what some of these words mean. So like mit is with, einem, I don't know. Okay, gegen. Gegen, no, I didn't do that. Huh? Guatemala, qualifiers. D is the, huh? I think. The. Amerikaner. Okay, American. Go America. Amerikaner. In Kansas City, awesome. They're the. Für die, the. Is that the? Of. The. Es geht and. Ich is I. Und ich denke. And I think, ich denke. Oh, okay, so this is a quote. They're using, in Korea they also use this as quotes, huh? This is a quote. And he's saying, and I think, das sounds like this, huh? And das ist eine Why does it keep zooming in? Exercise. Gut zufrieden. So der, da, und, and, February, bis. And bis is like Arabic. They keep saying bis means like well. Like saying in English. The three. Okay, now I'm recognizing myself. This is like a double S, right? Lice. Lice. D and with and the. Okay, knock. Oh, knock, we did this, right? Knock is, what is knock? Guatemala knock. Knock less monster. More.
Noch.
Did I do it here? No? Okay, maybe I didn't do it. I thought I did. Okay, so like I recognize a lot of words in here, and it's only going to grow because right now we're learning a lot of basic building blocks like the, a, one, two, three, that, this, words you're going to see a lot of, and then once you are recognizing those, you're going to start recognizing the next kind of level of words in commonality. So there's not really any need to go through a frequency table because you're going to get the most frequent words are the ones that show up the most, right? So if you read anything, you're going to get a frequency list. You're going to see the frequent things frequently, and the infrequent things infrequently. So yeah, I think that's enough for today for this video. So I think that I've showed you kind of a good two different ways to kind of go through this material. One is to go through every word one at a time, and another is to kind of zip through some content, and you could try to read it, but also just picking up the words that you recognize and looking up the words you're curious about. So again, I would normally do this like for whatever free time I have, 1 hour, 2 hours, or 30 minutes, whatever it happens to be. So if you're learning language, you should also put in your free time to kind of go through material like this. And if it's boring, remember to always look for something that's interesting to you. So good luck, and I'll see you tomorrow.